Even in the darkest of times, lightness will prevail. The future for Dragon Ball as a whole, whether we're talking about Fusion World or Masters, it's looking good. I want to talk a little bit about what's coming up, reveals that we have, not so much the cards and in the depth, but more of a holistic approach. I'm going to use a couple examples. I'm going to shout out someone here on the IG. I love how they put this together, so I wanted to steal it. Of course, I'll give credit where credit is due. I'm going to go off of the Dragon Ball Super official website of what's coming soon. Also, things that we will see outside of just the TCG, right? We have a lot of rumor circulating about the continuation of the manga. Maybe not so much rumors at this point, but there will be a continuation of the manga, which is good. It opens up the avenue for more Dragon Ball content. We have Xenoverse 3 coming out as well, a fantastic game. Hopefully they keep on doing more DLCs for Kakarot as well. It's a great game. Make sure you play that one if you do. But today I'm just really going to focus on what's going to be coming up with some of these new reveals, what's coming up in the next few weeks and months. As of the date of this recording, we are just shy of 4 days from Story Booster Time. Story time. I'm calling it Story Time. Got a problem with it? Get the hell out of here. Story Time to come out. That comes out Friday, August 21st. I'm fairly confident I'm going to have a couple of boxes. Should have about 100 sleeve booster packs. So I will do some sort of combination of a live stream on Whatnot on Friday, but also maybe I'll record that and you can see a little bit of behind the scenes. You guys can see some of the reveals almost as if a live ripping. Maybe I'll do that live on Whatnot as well. Anyways, I want to jump right into this. Shout out first to Poke Mafia Australia. They put this together, have a lot of good content down there. Outside of just Dragon Ball, obviously. But I will pick on one of their posts that they put up here for Dragon Ball Super, the card game. It's about to go crazy, sweetheart. It's been crazy. Trust me, I've dated crazy. I've married crazy. I'm still a little with crazy. Crazy's fun. That's why we're doing this. And if anyone tells you otherwise, they're just not man enough. So they're going to talk about 9 upcoming releases between August and March 2027. Excuse me, 2027. I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but I do want to talk about a couple of them. As I mentioned, this Friday, August 21st, we have Story Time that is going to be revealed. They're showing some of these alt art cards and the super alt arts. I think this is going to be a pretty interesting next few weeks. While I believe manga will always reign supreme, I've called it in the past the base set Pokemon of Dragon Ball. I do think Story Booster has its own following, and I think it can bring in enough people into the TCG that it could temporarily overshadow what you're seeing with manga. The anime becomes the card. That's the big one. They're taking cells straight out of the anime, where a lot of people started their Dragon Ball journey. They're specifically focusing heavily on a couple of movies, but really the Boo saga as a whole. And I think that's where a lot of people really started to chime in. And it's just going to bring a different layer of customers, players, investor bros, whatever, collectors into the TCG that maybe other past sets wasn't able to do. Manga booster energies, but celebrating the anime. Yes, we did a video on the reveal of these, what I think you should grade, when I think you should buy them, whether you're doing singles or sealed, so make sure you check that out. So that one is pretty apparent. For those of you that may have forgot, I want to say it was March. That they released this for pre-orders. 60 seconds, man. It was gone in like 60 seconds. I feel like we're doing Pokemon drops on Pokemon Center. I mean, it went quick and it went fast. So the second anniversary set, the historic first anniversary, who knows where it sits at now? Hang on, I'm actually kind of interested now. First, I gotta tell you who I mean. 650 now. This used to be like 150 bucks. I bought mine for like 100 bucks. First anniversary set bundle, 150 bucks. We did actually a price review of this being worth it, and I think the answer was no. This will come with, it looks like 6, 7, 8, 9, what? 10 premium alt arts, but there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. All right, whatever. But in either case, if we take a look at these, and maybe I can I open this image? No, I can't. If we take a look at here, this second anniversary looks like it's going to have some interesting characters. We got Super Saiyan God Vegeta. I got a Goku. I got a Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan Goku. Girl Broly. Yeah, I called her that. Sweet little Pan. Kid Goku. Goku, Son Gohan. Who is that? Gogeta. And I think that's Vegeta standing over Frieza. Yeah, some cool cards. Interesting they didn't put a Shenron in there, considering that's the most popular one in the first anniversary. I digress. They're obviously doing future stuff with this second anniversary. So that will be released. This says September 18th. I thought this had an October release date. I could be wrong. I am getting old and dumb. But this is a biggie. This one sold out very, very quick. I would absolutely buy this and rip it personally. Don't keep the seal. Don't promote the sealed market. Brightness of Hope, FB11. If you're in some of these TCG player channels that I talked about, Dragon Ball Fusion World is a good one. There have already been some Brightness of Hope FB11 releases that's come out. Maybe this is the one I was thinking about. October 16th is the set window or release date for this. Excuse me. FB09 changed the conversation around Fusion World. I guess. FB10 kept the momentum going. I don't know about that one. But in either case, this is an interesting one. It's a Super Saiyan 3 heavy Goku. We have some release art for it. So I think it's going to be the biggest thing in the world. Truthfully, I can't give you an opinion on it because I haven't looked so closely into it. I've been so hyper-focused on story time and exposing scumbag losers that I haven't really given, I don't have the opportunity to form an opinion. So maybe that's something that we can start doing, a little bit of an early look at some of these cards and what's to come. That one's going to be an interesting one. That is October. So we got September. That comes out with our second anniversary this month in August. It looks like we have something every month. If you need to eat ice for dinner, then you will eat ice for dinner. In November, Chromatic Ascension. What are these words? DBS B32, November 27th. You thought you were going to have fun on Turkey Day? Not anymore. Only 200 worldwide, the 9th anniversary set to celebrate 9th anniversaries. A special new rarity makes its debut. Jesus Christ. This anniversary god is limited to just 200 worldwide. Enough said. I don't really mess too much with cereal, personally. I do like Honey Nut Cheerios. But outside of my Honey Nut Cheerios, I don't really mess too much with cereals. I'd be interested to see what the card is. If I get my hands on one, cool. Do I want to pay aftermarket prices on something like that? Not really. Is Masters dead? No, obviously not. But it's a funny joke. Maybe there's going to be some hype behind this and RamFam will really start getting into Masters. Who knows? But that is coming in November. In December, FB12. So you can have a couple months between Fusion Worlds. Reach the God. Now, they put here rumor only, and I decided to go check it out. It doesn't sound like it's so much of a rumor. Maybe this time frame is what they're talking about. But yes, information is limited, but the title strongly points towards a God-focused release, potentially involving Beerus and Super Saiyan God. I got to tell you, if you look at TCG Player, and I just for Beerus, there's not a lot of love when it comes to Beerus. Considering he's such an important character to the evolution of the Saiyans that we know, And the storyline, I mean, the alt art doesn't even go for that much, but there's not a lot of banger cards for them. You have the serialized, or the signature series, right? You got this one. That one's been going down a lot. This one's a cool one. But outside of like those three, the Sleepy, yeah, the Sleepy Beerus, that one's a fun one. I got one of those coming in from my mod. But outside of those, there isn't a lot of Beerus love. I do like this energy marker. I think that could be pretty cool. I think that would look a lot better as a gold. I think this is just the base form or the silver of those. But this is going to be an interesting card. I would definitely like this one. I don't mess too much with Beerus, but I do like this, and I know a lot of people do. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Then Story Booster. I've actually already saw pre-orders on a couple of random sites. I didn't put any money towards it because I'd rather just pick it up for cheaper on release day. But Story Booster expected January. Yeah, I've already seen pre-orders for this. I think Story is going to be pretty big, man. Someone was telling me, or I saw it online, I think this next one's going to be the Frieza. Someone confirmed that or put it into the chat. I can't remember where I saw it, or who told it, or where I read it, but Storytime 02, baby, is coming out. That's going to be an interesting one. This one I'm actually a little excited for. Epic Rival Showdowns, Dragon Ball Super B33. Excuse me. Expected in February of 19. Oh my goodness gracious. Ultimate Saiyan Power. 3 serialized cards. That's not why I'm excited for this. This could be absolutely enormous. Distributor. All right, distributor information. I gotta calm down. 12 connecting concept rares. That's what I kind of like about that. 12 connecting concept rares. Because if you recall, when I was speaking, and if you didn't watch the video, you should go watch, Storytime is doing something similar. If you look on the left side of Vegito and the right side of Vegeta, there's no art there. It's blank. And the thought is, the theory is that all of the super alt arts in story 1, 2, and 3 will similarly follow this art or this pattern. And you can take all 6 and maybe connect them in circle, square, whatever, a rectangle, into something. And I like that. Why do I like that? Well, Ramfam's going to think a little bit more long stream like his urine, all right? In Pokemon, and I talked about this, so make sure you watch our videos. In Pokemon, they have sequential sets. Eevee evolutions from prismatic evolutions. They pick up, whatever, all 9 evolutions of that stupid cat or dog or whatever the hell it is. And they grade them all as PSA 10s, BGS 10s, and it's a sequential set. And as a master setter, which is something we don't have too much in Dragon Ball, which is something we can expand into, that sort of collecting mini-series is pretty fascinating, right? It gives you a certain goal, something that not a lot of people do, some sort of exclusivity that is pretty interesting. And I like that for this, but I also like it for this 12 connecting concept words. Because now me as a collector, like for instance, I just picked up this. I thought this was really cool. I only picked it up because it was, Jump Comics #1, but it's because it's 2. I'm also a big Ninja Turtle. I mean, you can see it here, and I have them tattooed all the way up my arm. And for Ninja Turtles, when I buy my Ninja Turtles, I only buy my Ninja Turtles, whether I'm physically at a place or online, if I can get the complete set. So I'm talking about all 4 turtles. I'll never just buy 3 turtles. I'm going to buy all 4. If I can't, I won't. So when I look at this connecting concept rare in my mind as a collector, I go, well, that's pretty cool. That makes me feel like I want to collect all 12, right? You got to catch them all, right? So I like this idea because now I can take this, go collect them all, go buy them all, go do whatever, rip them all. And now I have this cool little set. And for me personally, I would grade it and I would sell it. Now, in Dragon Ball, we don't have a lot of taxes, right? We don't have a low pop tax. We don't have a vintage tax. We don't have a swirl tax. We don't have a sequential tax. Am I saying those things are good? No. But that sequential tax can be beneficial in some instances, depending on how we use it. So for instance, If you had all 12 of these in a BGS 10, or all 12 of them into black labels, or all 10 of them PSA 10s, I can see an argument. Yeah, you know, individually they all add up to $10,000, but because you have sequential, I can see an extra 10% tacked on, right? And those are like the little things that this TCG as a whole could use to move us up a little bit higher on the totem pole. 2 God Rares are part of this. 3 serialized. Serialized doesn't really get my nipples erect, but I digress. Then we got FB13, expected March 2027, a 3rd anniversary. Name hasn't been revealed, but this is positioned as the 3rd anniversary booster. Early distribution information points towards a completely new mechanic and potentially the largest leader lineup Fusion World has ever seen. How many leaders do they normally do? Like 4, 6, something like that. So we'll see. This will be interesting. So shout out to them, Pokemafia AU. It's good to see you guys talk about a little bit other than just your normal Pokemon stuff. But it also made me come on over here to Dragon Ball Super card game and look at some of the coming soon. So from a high level, you know, we have Story Booster. We know about this. August 21st. That's going to be really big. Hopefully if you can, join us on Whatnot. We're going to be ripping that day. I'm projecting 2 booster boxes that day, 100 sleeved. It might be moved to Saturday because there's going to be 2 more I'll be able to pick up from a couple other shows or events. So that will be interesting. After that, we did talk about Brightness of Hope, so we'll look into that a little bit. We have 2 starter decks. These are pretty interesting. Starter deck, the Prince of Saiyan. So I'm guessing it's going to be heavy. Vegeta, maybe Trunks will be in there. That will be interesting to see. We mentioned it earlier. It says winter of 26, the booster pack reached the god. So it looks like at least that name is confirmed. Maybe not the time in December, but winter of 26 is going to be pretty interesting time. And that's really good because for me, I need to spend a lot of money before the end of the year for that. And then starter deck, the Saiyan Raised on Earth. This could be a couple. This could be Gohan, obviously a Saiyan Raised on Earth. It could be Goten. It could be Trunks, obviously little boy Trunks. I guess it could be future Trunks too. But this is going to be interesting. Maybe we have a Vegeta focused and a Gohan focused. We'll see once more artwork comes out for those releases. If you haven't already seen it, again, here is, excuse me, where's my story? Stories, reveals are all out. I did have a video about this. You can go onto TCG Player as well and take a look. We do have a new Vegeta, a new Vegito, and of course Broly. We do have these alt art versions, these rainbow. Oh wait, I haven't checked. Are they calling it rainbow? What did we decide this name? It's just alt art? Yeah, right. Alt arts. I love these. They give me concept rare vibes from Masters. I really like this. I think this is a great one that I might actually go after to do a sequential set on. I love the Hot Rod. I mean, a lot of great cards in here. You have your top hits right here with the Super Alt Art and Alt Art versions of Vegito and Vegeta. Not the biggest fan of this Alt Art, but still a great card nonetheless. And it is the introduction to Dragon Ball pattern. That's exactly what we're calling it. They call it a hologram finish version, but it is a Dragon Ball pattern that they're calling it on TCG. So I think either one applies. This is a cool set to, if you're into master setting things, I think Story Time boost. I'm calling it Story Time. I don't care. Story Time is the way to go. It gives you the opportunity to rip more. It sounds like it's going to be more difficult to get, which from a master setting, you know, that journey, I'm on this journey. This is going to be interesting because now every single common is basically two that you have to pick up. That's pretty interesting. We looked at these energy markers. You know what? I actually didn't look at these energy markers before, so I'm just going to take a quick peek at them, maybe make a video just based off of these themselves. But these actually look pretty interesting. nothing that this is crazy. Nothing that sticks out as absolutely wild to me. I'm going to assume, oh, there's the alt arts. I almost said gold, but we'll do the alt arts. That one looks all right. My sweet angel, it's okay. Daddy will take care of you one day. Look at this dude, just dumping it. The hot rod, the family shot, I think is probably my favorite. This one gives me the red manga vibes. I like that one. So this is coming out this week. We obviously don't have a lot to report on the Brightness of Hope, but again, you can go to Reddit and check out what they have available there for releases. We'll probably do a video about that as well. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. Brightness of Hope. Again, we do have this established Prince of Saiyan. We do have God, the Reach the God, FB12 should be in winter of 2026. So I'm projecting before the end of the year, which will be very interesting to see how they're wrapping up arguably their largest year ever, right? And then the starter deck, the Saiyan raised on Earth, presumably a Gohan, Gotenks, maybe Trunks-esque like deck. This will be interesting. No other news on that. And I believe these all talk about other stuff, promoting their pages. All right, so chat, I don't know about you. I'm relatively excited about this. Again, I obviously only went over Fusion World on the Dragon Ball Super card game because I'm a Fusion World kind of guy myself. It's not to say that Masters is dead, but that I just appreciate that one a little bit more. I think there's a lot of opportunities to pop up in the future, chat. We obviously already have a lot of things already released and available that still keeps Dragon Ball pretty damn exciting. Hopefully you will see the value in story time and what it can do with us by bringing in more people. Booster pack Brightness of Hope, FB11 and FB12 Reach the God. Both of these, Brightness of Hope and Reach the God, kind of have quite the heavy lifting to do. They're going to have to take us along with the second year anniversary set, but take us along towards 2027. And that's going to be really interesting, right? Because the Princess Saiyan and the Saiyan Raised on Earth, I mean, do you know of any starter decks that are like groundbreaking? I guess the Shallot one was pretty popular or is pretty popular, but outside of that one, there's not that many. So, you know, we got an interesting next 3-4-ish months where Dragon Ball is going to be laying out a lot of content, a lot of opportunities, a lot of cards, a lot of just about everything they have. I think it was $140 million reported that they're dumping into the IPO. So they're going off the wall on this one. I'm excited about it. I think I'm going to do a video about Brightness of Hope's reveal, so make sure you tune in for that. And let me know your opinion, chat. Right? We have a lot happening going into the end of this year, beginning of next year. Storytime 2 is going to be coming out. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know, Ram. I'm not as excited. You know, I think we peaked already. I think Story Booster is going to be it, and then we're just going to coast until number 2. Ram, I'm super excited. I think that second anniversary is going to be the best set ever. Ram, I just want to tell you thank you for everything you do. Whatever it is, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and we'll be back again tomorrow with some more. See ya.